episode of Wrestle Talk with Bear and B-Dub. As you can tell, Bear is not with us at this time, but tune in. He will be back soon. He's just on a little mini vacation. But we knew the fan base was growing. We knew you guys were out there getting excited about the next upcoming shows. We got the biggest pay-per-views coming up, and we would be remiss if we did not keep the show going. So I have a good friend of mine, also very knowledgeable on the topic of professional wrestling, by the name of B. Ryan.
What's going on, fans?
So, B. Ryan has been a avid fan of Wrestle Talk with Bear and B-Dub since it started. And he's been trying to reach out to you fans. And on this episode, we're going to start off by giving him his show. Because he has something that he has to get off his chest, ladies and gentlemen. And that is the top 10 overrated wrestlers.
Overrated, useless, too much memory, just why were they even there?
Oh, let's get right into it, ladies and gentlemen, because I know you guys want to know who's on the top 10 overrated wrestlers of professional wrestling in the past 20 years.
And we're going to start off at number 10 with Mr. Cobra himself, Santino Marella.
Santino Marella, I tell you, the Santino Marella, so why do you say he's overrated?
Pointless would be a better word, but this man has held the Intercontinental title, which at one point was a prestigious title. Now it's either a joke or a stepping stone to getting the WWE title. Mm-hmm. He has as much wrestling skill as my 3-year-old daughter. And he makes it simply on his mic skills.
Yeah, and then don't forget the eyebrow.
Oh yes, the eyebrow.
The one he drew in.
Mm-hmm. And let's not to mention, he paraded as a woman. Santina, I believe.
Yeah.
And would be the first man to have a women's title.
Yeah, I was very disappointed when he became Miss WrestleMania. I actually kind of look forward to that match to see Santina win it, but I don't want to spend too much time on that piece of junk.
Yes.
Number 9.
Perry Saturn. You may remember him as the bald-headed cock-eyed guy in the Four Horsemen. If you remember him from the Four Horsemen.
Well, that when you think of Four Horsemen, you think of 4 workhorses in wrestling. I go far as back when they had Tully Blanchard, Ole and Arn Anderson, and of course the Nature Boy Ric Flair. These were guys who wrestled. They were a true gang. Even during when I was a little bit older, when they had Chris Benoit, Flying Brian Pillman, Arn Anderson, and Ric Flair. Even when Steve Mongo McMichael, I would have rather have, but Perry Saturn. And then so then you had you redid the Horsemen, and you had Chris Benoit, Eddie Guerrero, Dean Malenko. 3 workhorses. Malenko was great. A lot of people, he was overshadowed a lot due to his size, but great wrestler, great technical skills. When he
man of 1,000 holds.
Man of 1,000 holds.
Yes.
And Chris Benoit, that just goes without saying.
Benoit.
Eddie Guerrero, great mic skills, great wrestler skills. But then you throw Perry Saturn in there, ladies and gentlemen. I would have rather seen Rey Mysterio in there, to be honest with you, if you was going to take your WCW guys. Even Ultimo Dragon. But Perry Saturn, he came out with a mop.
You know what? Glacier would have worked.
Glacier? Nah.
I forgot he came out with a mop.
Glacier was a fake Sub-Zero and Shawn Michaels mixed into one. He was so overrated, he didn't even deserve to be on the overrated list.
No, he didn't. So, sorry to disappoint if y'all were expecting Glacier.
Yeah. Number 8.
I hate to do it, but Mr. Bill Goldberg.
Bill Goldberg.
What was that record in WCW? Like 101?
Hold on, it was 151 or 150 and 0, whatever it was, we knew it was fake. I mean, they exaggerated the wins they had that he won at house shows and whatnot, you know. But when you think about Goldberg, what do you think? I mean,
spear, jackhammer. oh yes, standing in pyro.
Yeah,
cannot forget about standing in pyro.
Oh, don't forget about, you know, the security guards that had to walk him to the ring.
And for some reason, his music had to play 35 seconds before he made it to the stage. So 5 minutes before he even had a match, we're watching Goldberg walk to the ring.
Yeah. So, yeah, Goldberg was definitely overrated. I mean, the streak, for what? Really? I mean, he really didn't beat nobody.
And that was going to be my next question. Name me 5 people from the street. Jobber 1, Jobber 2, Hometown Hero.
I can remember DDP, who he shouldn't have beat.
No.
I'm sure he beat Sting along that time.
I think everybody's beat
Kurt
Sting.
Hennig for the U.S. title, I believe. I might be wrong. And, you know, but Kevin Nash ended it, thank God. Oh, he beat, of course, the greatest wrestler of all time, Hollywood Hulk Hogan. But, anyway. So, yeah, but back to Goldberg, overrated. Let's move on to number 7.
The innovator of violence, Tommy Dreamer.
Tommy Dreamer's on your list?
Tommy Dreamer's on my list.
But why Tommy Dreamer? I mean, he was a workhorse for ECW.
He was a loser. Let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
When one day you finally have a little Brian Waters or maybe a Brittany or whatever you decide to name your child, would you want them to be Tommy Dreamer?
Nah.
Would you be happy every week watching your child take a beating for nothing?
He was ECW champion.
So,
Okay.
ECW champion is about as much as what? The Cruiserweight title, maybe?
I mean, you know.
Hey, Mom, I got my face bloody today. Did you win? No. And we're going to just go away from the innovator of violence, and we're going to move on to number 6.
Mm-hmm.
Montel Vontavious Porter.
MVP. MVP never got a chance. He was a worker. If you let Kane set you on fire, he was a worker.
But still, he was a rapper. He was still saying ballin' in 2010. Nobody's ballin' unless they're playing basketball. His move was what? What was his name? What? The
playmaker.
Oh, yes. I'm going to put your head in between my knee and twist it. And when he had a mean streak, when he came out with the Malcolm X tattoo on his chest and he took off that dumb spandex suit, he stopped. And then he started balling again. And, yeah, that's why he's overrated and he's not there anymore.
Yeah, okay. Moving on. Number 5.
Number 5. A lot of people may agree he should be higher, but we're gonna say John Cena.
Whoa. You can't see me.
Well, I couldn't see him any lower. That's about it. But, yeah, he's, we're gonna put him at number 5 because, and the reason we're not gonna put him at number 1 is because John Cena is a workhorse. The mention of that man's name will sell out an arena.
Exactly. So why is he overrated?
Let's name his wrestling moves, perhaps.
Cena, he's innovated he's grown over the years. When he first came out, you didn't see him doing the STF.
No, we did not see him.
Now he's doing the STFU. I forgot what something they changed.
Oh no, they just call it the STF now.
Yeah.
And every time he does the STF, the 5-knuckle shuffle, the attitude adjustment, all of his moves are lame. The only thing that made John Cena good was that nice little flying leg drop he did off the top rope. But other than that, he's a show.
Well, but he'll give you a good match.
Yeah.
You can't say his matches with Orton and his matches with Edge, they weren't good.
Because of the people in the matches.
I mean, two people got a solid match. I mean, if you put Orton and Santino, that's not going to be a good match.
Santino would sell it though with his,
Cobra.
with his Cobra.
Alright.
But you know what? John Cena, he will give you a good match. He will show his fighting. I think he'd be better as maybe a hardcore champion, because then he could take the whole street persona, hustle, loyalty, respect, and he can actually go somewhere with it.
That belt that was broken up that I think we made while we was in high school.
It's better than that spinner belt, because that spinner belt was a disgrace. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And then Edge had his rated R spinner, and yeah, I think I'm just glad we're with that.
Alright, so
number 4. I think you'll have fun with this one, B-Dub. And run. We will be talking about the Ultimate Warrior.
From parts unknown, ladies and gentlemen, weighing in at about 265 pounds. Ding, ding, ding.
Cleveland, Ohio. What were his parts unknown, by the way?
Yeah, good old, what is his name? Jim Hellwig. Yeah, Jim Hellwig. Legally changed his name to the Warrior. Yeah, definitely. Overrated superstar. They said time and time again the Warrior wanted to be famous. And he felt that professional wrestling would be the business that would allow him to do so. Well, Warrior, you accomplished your dream. Intercontinental Champion. He beat the Honky Tonk Man after Honky Tonk held it for 13 months.
He beat Hulk Hogan in WrestleMania.
Yeah,
in
WrestleMania
the title
6.
versus title match.
And then he had a good match with the Macho Man Randy Savage. If you tuned into our early episodes, was definitely a part of me and Bear's top 10, top 15 WrestleMania matches. But in each one of those matches, the other person sold it. I mean, despite the fact with him and Hogan's match, you had title versus title, you had two big icons in wrestling going up against each other. But Ultimate Warrior clearly overrated as a wrestler. His music, and his colors, and his ability, because he just wasn't human, is what sold everybody. But when you look back as a wrestler, he's just overrated, and quite frankly, wasn't the best worker. And
he could have ran track, maybe.
Yeah, but that one time when his career was, when he was selling the fact that his career could possibly be over, was the time where he walked to the ring. You didn't see him run.
Yes, and no one knew who he was.
Welcome
to the Ultimate Warrior. That's not the Ultimate Warrior.
No, I'm talking about WrestleMania 7.
Oh.
WrestleMania 7, but, moving on to number 3. Number 3, a former World Heavyweight Champion.
I don't know how. The Great Khali.
Yeah.
I mean, everything I said about Cena, multiply it. This guy...
At least Cena could talk.
English.
Mm-hmm. Now, I don't want, before we lose fans and lose ratings and lose sponsors, I'm not criticizing people who cannot speak the English language.
No, not at all.
Khali was just dumb. I mean,
we love all of our people of every
look
color,
at
shape,
Yokozuna.
and size.
Even though Yoko, for the before he started speaking English, he came out there, he wrestled, did the bonsai drop, and he was dominant. Khali getting knocked down by Rey Mysterio.
And not even that. He was big. He was slow. He was misshapen. He was ugly. His moves consisted of a brain chop that for some reason killed everybody.
Even The Undertaker.
Even The Undertaker. This big sloppy knockoff Kevin Nash knee thing in the corner.
Yeah.
He had no skill. And the fact that this man had a wrestling career and a world title reign, I don't understand how a big man like that could be such a waste. But then again, coming in at number 2...
From Washington, D.C., your former world heavyweight champion again, Batista. I mean, really, Batista didn't sell out arenas. Undertaker, Triple H, etc. They sold out the arenas in which Batista was beating these guys when he became heavyweight champion or retaining the belt. Yes, him and Undertaker did have probably perhaps one of the top WrestleMania matches, but at the same time,
they had a good feud altogether.
But because the Undertaker was in there.
Obviously.
Batista, yeah, highly overrated.
Batista's best days were as Deacon Batista and when he was in Evolution. Once he branched out on his own, they gave him the normal big man, I have muscles, I can beat everybody character, and turn around and get beat by the likes of Rey Mysterio. Just another big dummy with something me and you talk about a lot, no mic skills. I mean, he gets on the mic, you know, Ray, I'm upset, and nothing. I'm not drawn to watch him. I change like it's a commercial when he talks. Luckily, he's no longer there.
And he's gonna go fight Brock. I heard he wants to fight Brock in MMA.
And Brock will probably knock his jaw loose. But number one on the list, Mr. B-Dub here is not gonna agree, but the Immortal One.
Wait a minute. You said you had number one as Kamala. When you said it was Kamala,
yeah.
Now you just said the Immortal One. It only has to be one person.
The Immortal One. Running wild, eating vitamins, dropping legs on everybody. Hulk Hogan.
See what happens? You put somebody on the show. You get them on the show.
Hogan.
And they put Hogan on the list.
This man's favorite wrestler.
Without a doubt.
Hulk Hogan, like John Cena, sold out arenas.
And wrestling would not be what it is today without Hulk Hogan.
I will give you that.
Okay, so how is he overrated?
Hulkamania ran wild. Hulkamania took over.
And guess
Hulkamania was on cereal. It was on cartoons. It was everywhere. But let's get past all that.
Okay.
Let's get past all the chutes and ladders, okay? It says in some articles online that Hulk Hogan's matches went like this. Hulk Hogan would do some offense. And then Hulk Hogan would be mercilessly beat. And out of nowhere, some mist that you can compare to the Holy Ghost maybe.
Hey, don't do that.
A second win, a miracle. He would get up and just start. And then he'd point, and he'd punch, and if you were really big, he'd body slam, and then he'd throw you to the rope and kick you, and he'd hit a leg drop, and that would be it, and then he would spend about 30 minutes celebrating, you know.
Okay.
Hogan did not get good until he co-founded the NWO.
And that's why you can't say he's overrated. For years, WWE had been kicking WCW's butt in ratings, in sales, pay-per-view sales, merchandise sales, everything. But until Hogan changed it around, put on the black and white and said, I did it for the money. And that old so faithful Bash to the Beach. And where he hit the leg drop on Hulk Hogan, much like LeBron James did to the Cleveland Cavaliers, that's when WCW all of a sudden started beating WCW Nitro started beating Monday Night Raw for over 80 weeks in a row because of Hulk Hogan. So you can't say Hogan is overrated.
Hogan's impact was amazing, but when he changed from a good guy to a bad guy, unfortunately his moves didn't change with it.
Yeah, he started using spray paint.
Oh, after the match was over.
And a belt. And he started hitting people with the belt.
And yes, he hit people with belts. But his wrestling skill, I'm judging from wrestling skill. This is why people like Hulk Hogan, Batista, John Cena MVP have made this list because of your lack of wrestling. It is called World Wrestling Entertainment. Not World Entertainment. Not Kids Cheer For Me. Not Hulkamania's Running Wild. No. World Wrestling Entertainment. Hulk Hogan is the most overrated superstar ever. But his impact made wrestling what it is today, and I will give him his credit for that.
Okay. Do you have anything else to say, B. Ryan?
Is there anybody else you think that should have made this list?
No. But fans, we want you to tune in and list your comments and let us know who you think should be on this list. We have, you can contact us through Twitter at www.twitter.com/BearandBDub. You can also contact us through email at bearandbdub@gmail.com. Don't forget the website, www.bearandbdub.webs.com. We also got a new blog spot. I'm doing blogs every few days. Right now I'm blogging on the Royal Rumble, and that blog address is bdubroyalrumble.blogspot.com. I know I just gave you a whole lot of lists. I will be sure to put it in on Facebook. Find us on Facebook. Become a fan. I just want to give some shout outs to some loyal Facebook fans who's been interacting with me, Bear, and B. Ryan. And some ones goes out to Cameron Gee, Anthony Chabat, Candace Kidd, Carlos Event, and Joshua White. These are people want to personally shout out to you. Thank you for tuning in to Wrestle Talk with Bear and B-Dub. Thank you for following the blogs and checking out the website. And we look forward to your opinions on these upcoming shows. And on our next show, B. Ryan himself will be joining me as we discuss the Royal Rumble winners. We are going to give our own personal rankings from top to bottom, from worst to best, of the best Royal Rumble winners and how it has impacted and catapulted their career. Be sure to join us on the next episode of Wrestle Talk with Bear, B-Dub, and now B. Ryan.